YouTube, it's your boy Life with Jay, formerly known as ATruckerNamedJay, coming to talk to some of my truck driver brethren right quick, bro. I'm gonna try to make this video as quick as possible and straight to the point. Listen, man, it's a lot of money to be made at VL Trucking. Like I will say that. I think that's common sense at this point. I think so much so that people are tired of hearing it, which is why I think I get a lot of the hate that I get. Like the last video I just did. When I was laying in my bed, I said that joint got like 20 dislikes. And I'm like, damn, all I was doing was telling the truth. But, you know, the hate is out there because it's legit, you know what I mean? And for whatever reason, people like to hate on that type of situation. But if you're going to come to VL Trucking, man, you got to come hungry. You know what I mean? Like, just because a situation has been put in place to where you get a high cents per mile, you can be in a nice truck, and you know what I'm saying, you can have a good dispatcher. You still got to put the work in as a driver. You understand? Whether you a company driver, you driving for a fleet owner, or you a lease operator, you got to put the work in, man. You know what I mean? And you know, I just see too many situations, or you know, I'm having people that I'm talking to that I'm trying to mentor, or that I'm trying to help along their journey while they're here at VL and other leasing programs. And I'm just trying, you know, they just trying to get some information as to why their numbers not adding up to maybe what mine is or some other YouTubers. You all right back there, Fat Daddy? Can I finish my video, man? But they just trying to figure out why their numbers might not be adding up, or why they may be having a harder time maintaining their situation. And it's so crazy because the first thing that, you know, people from the outside looking in, they'll say, oh, well, this person getting favoritism, or this person getting doing that, they kissing ass. When the reality is, no, man, we just being more productive with our clocks and being productive as drivers. You know what I mean? If you are a dry van driver, I can't speak to refrigerated, but if you are a dry van, there is no reason why you should not be doing. If you have a load that picks up on a Monday and delivers on a Tuesday, that you need to be delivering that load as early as possible. Okay, if you get out here and you turn into one of these drivers that want to take their time all day, and you know, want to stop the truck 3-4 times a day for restroom breaks, or you know, lunch breaks twice a day, and you know, a load that could have been delivered, you know, say Tuesday at 10 a.m. you don't deliver it until Tuesday at 3 p.m. you're gonna lose a lot of money, man. Like, you still have to put the work in to get, I don't care how much cents per mile somebody is paying, how good their equipment is, you still have to put the energy and the effort in as a driver. Period. There is no way around it. There just isn't. You still have to make sure that your equipment is in good condition. You still got to do the pre-trips. Make sure your tires are good. Make sure your drive tires are good. Make sure your lines are good. Your lights are good. Little small stuff that'll keep you from being on the side of the road. You still have a responsibility as a driver to do those things. Because guess what? If you don't, it's going to ultimately catch up to you, and it's going to cost you money. And you're going to be the guy that's been at the company for 60 days or 90 days or however many days, and you still ain't seen a check over $2,000 as a company driver, or you haven't seen a settlement, a $7,000 take-home settlement as a lease driver, or you know what I'm saying, seeing numbers that you know you would only think is bullshit because you haven't seen it yet. You know what I mean? And then you'll turn into the guy that'll be like, oh, well, it must be because VL is doing this, or it's because this company is doing that. And you'll turn it, and it'll just turn into like a blame game. You'll blame your dispatcher. You'll blame maintenance. You'll blame the conditions of the truck. You'll blame all these different things and all these different people, when the reality is you aren't being the most productive driver you can be. And I just want to put that message out there because, you know, I would assume it to be common sense. But I remember with VL, a lot of guys are coming in with only 1 year experience. Hell, still some people in the door with 10, 11 months of experience. So maybe they haven't been in the truck long enough to fully understand and learn what is common sense to us with, you know, 3, 4, 5 and plus years of experience, man. You know, this isn't to pick on nobody. This isn't to talk about nobody. This is just me keeping it 100 with you, man. It don't matter where you go. If you ain't doing everything that you ain't supposed to be, if you ain't doing everything you're supposed to be doing, you ain't gonna never make the most money you could be making. Period. You gonna always be the guy that's at the company and you wondering why everybody else making more money than you. And it's because your work ethic isn't there, your productivity isn't there, your maturity isn't there, and you just not ready to make the money that you want to make. There's people at Swift, Prime, CR England that are making above average money, but they're doing the above average things that is required to make that money. Everybody ain't gonna make that money because they're not willing to do those things. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why when you hear people say you can make a situation work wherever you go, that's a fact. That's 1,000% fact. But what people be looking for, like with situations like VL, they just want to walk in the door with rose petals on the floor, and they just think they're just supposed to just roll out of the bed and make over $2,000 as a company driver, or roll out of the bed and make over, $5,000 a week as an owner-operator. And when that doesn't happen because they're not doing what they're supposed to do, now they're looking like, oh, he bullshit, he lying, they stealing from me, blah, 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 blah. When everybody else don't got no problem. You know why? Because they're doing what they're supposed to do. So that's my message, man. Like, no matter what you want to do, whether you can be a company driver, lease operator, whether you want to go to VL, Prime, Swift, lease a truck, or Wasatch, Lone Mountain, buy a truck, cash, whatever, you have to understand there's a certain level of maturity and productivity that you are going to have to maintain for your situation to be a productive and profitable situation. And if you can't understand that, well, you shouldn't be behind the wheel of any lease anywhere. You company drivers, you get away with it because you just driving a truck, you know what I'm saying? But as a lease operator, if you don't have the maturity for it, hey, man, there's nothing wrong with waiting a little while, man. This leasing shit ain't going nowhere. Trucking ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a bag to be got whenever you decide to do it. But just make sure that you ready to do it when you do it, because if not, you ain't going to be doing it long, and that's a big fact. But that's all I got, man. I just wanted to put that word out there, man. I want my people to be productive. I want my people to get a bag and be consistently getting the bag. Not just get a bag for a couple of weeks or a couple of months and then they leave or they not getting the bag no more because they done fucked it up. You know what I mean? So that's all I got, though, as always. I know the vibe. Stay safe, stay positive, stay productive, man. God, family, trucking. I'm out.